Hello and welcome to Spectrum News at 4. My name is Xavier Roberts, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom. Let's take a look at the headlines. Senate unveils Tinubu's 28 ministerial nominees. NYSC says mobilization, deployment, redeployment, free. Plus, North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un meets with Russia's defense minister on Victory Day. We will bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. First to the news this afternoon is a report that President Bola Tinubu has sent the long-awaited ministerial list to the Senate, with some expected surprise names making the cut. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio read the names on the floor of the Senate during plenary today. Reports say some immediate past governors, including Nasser El-Rufai of Kaduna State, Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, and David Umahi of Ebonyi State, made the cut. The full list has Abubakar Momo, Yusuf Maitama Tuga, Ahmed Dangiwa, Hanatu Musawa, Uche Naji, Beta Edu, Doris Uzoka, David Umahi, Ezenwo Nyesom Wike, Mohammed Badaru, Abubakar Nasser El-Rufai, Ekberikwepo, Nkiruka Onye Jocha, Olubumi Tunji Ojo, Stella Okotete, Uju Kennedy Oganeye, Bello Mohammed Goronyo, Dele Alake, Latif Fabemi, Mohammed Idris, Olawale Edun, Wahid Adebayo Adelabu, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, Ali Pate, Joseph Otsav, Abubakar Kiari, John Eno, and Sani Abubakar Danladi. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has made a passionate appeal to organized labor to give him more time to look into their grievances rather than embarking on industrial action. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, made the disclosure after he led members of his leadership to brief the President on the outcome of their engagement with the National Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, which has declared a nationwide strike action. Meanwhile, the Special Advisor to the President on Energy, Olu Veheje, also met with leaders of the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress at the presidential villa to continue talks on palliatives to mitigate the impact of subsidy removal. In a separate development, the management of the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) has warned that the scheme does not charge any fees for the mobilization, deployment and relocation of prospective corps members. This was disclosed in a statement signed by the Director, Press and Public Relations of the NYSC, Eddie Megwa, today. According to the statement, redeployment, mobilization and deployment of corps members were all free of charge in accordance with the deployment and relocation policies of the scheme. Meanwhile, the scheme urged corps members and their institutions to report any infractions against the policies to NYSC formations across the country, its National Directorate headquarters in Abuja, or any other security agencies for prompt action. On judicial matters, Justice Hamza Muazu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja has dismissed a request filed by the Department of State Services DSS seeking a 14-day extended detention order for the suspended Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele. The DSS based its application on purported new evidence it had discovered. Reports say the application was filed by the DSS's legal team yesterday and came before the vacation judge today. Justice Muazu dismissed the application, citing it as an abuse of court process and identifying the lack of jurisdiction. In a separate development, the Acting Inspector General of Police IGP Kayode Baitokun has pledged his administration's commitment to enhancing the Police Reform and Transformation Office portal. The IGP made the commitment when the portal coordinator Tunji Lardner and other officials paid a courtesy visit to him at the force headquarters. According to a statement by the force spokesman CSP Olumuyiwa Dejobi, the IGP reiterated that portal serves as a catalyst for change within the Nigerian Police Force (NPF), encompassing measures such as comprehensive training, enhanced logistics support, and modernization of policing practices. The IGP noted that under his leadership, the NPF recognizes the need for progressive reforms to enhance its effectiveness, efficiency, and public trust. In another development, Bayelsa State Governor Doye Diri has sworn in 8 local government caretaker chairmen and 31 heads of rural development authorities during the swearing-in ceremony that took place at the Government House Banquet Hall in Yenagoa. The governor charged the new appointees to reside in their council areas while carrying out their official duties. The governor, who urged the appointees to prioritize accountability, warned them against taking loans from banks during their tenure. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Omoino has warned that his administration will not entertain any form of excuses for underperformance as he sets out to deliver good governance to the people. Governor Eno stated this at Ibom Icon and Golf Resort as the first ever policy converge Akwa Ibom Dialogue entered day 3 yesterday. The governor explained that the business meeting was packaged intentionally before constituting and assigning portfolios to would-be members of the State Executive Council to ensure all-round concentration and a comprehensive blueprint that would serve as a guide in delivering what is needed by the people in different sectors. The governor, while thanking the former Minister for Power, Bath Naji, for his time, charged the commissioners designate, and others who intend to play any role in his government to pay rapt attention and take the deliberations seriously in order to be able to function maximally in any area and ministry that they will be assigned to serve. He stressed that he would do all he can, adopting strategies recommended by experts in the course of the policy summit to ensure full implementation of goals packaged in the Arise Agenda document for the good of the people and development of the state.
And please, I ask all the commissioner nominees to take notes. There were reasons why we didn't put portfolios. Because simply from the retreat and set the timelines. When you come for ESCO, the thing will be on the board and you just tell us. And there will be no excuse, please. So it's best we sit here now. I'm going to sit through. I just need to step up to thank Professor Bath Naji. I needed to do that. Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you so very much. On behalf of the government and people of Akwa Ibom State, thank you so much.
In a related development, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Omoino has opened up on the new vistas of governance with the restructuring of ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs. In the new arrangement, the Ministry of Agriculture has been merged with Rural Development, a new ministry created for water resources and sanitation, while Power will be a standalone ministry. Governor Omoino made this known on the day 3 of the ongoing 4-day summit to kickstart the implementation of the Arise Agenda, tagged the Akwa Ibom administration today, July 27. The governor, decrying the exclusion in some water-related benefits from the central government and donor agencies, said, with the creation of the designated Ministry for Water Resources, the state will be fully integrated in the United Nations Water, Sanitation and Hygiene WASH program, have structures to implement the existing water law, and tackle other water and sanitation issues appropriately.
The Ministry of Power is going to be a separate standalone ministry on its own. So we're merging environment, petroleum, mineral resources, however we want to code it, into one ministry. I'd like to announce that the Ministry of Agriculture will now merge with the Ministry of Rural Development. And we're going to have Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Because agriculture is in the rural areas, and there are so many things we need to rearrange in this dispensation. I'm not too happy with the work Ibom Fadama has done. I've asked for a report since I became governor. The working capital, the shareholders fund that was paid into Ibom Fadama has been depleted, and I'm aware of that. And we are still keeping that management. We need a brand new management that we will be able to work together and link the farmers to the bank. We have 496,000 farmers.
Meanwhile, Rotary International District 9142 says it will be installing Rotarian Akanema as her 7th governor this Saturday, 29th July. The chairman of the Installation Planning Committee, Barrister Basi Akanem, said the installation scheduled for 12 noon at Ibom Hall, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, will be attended by all the district governors and Rotarians from the 7 states that make up the district. Addressing journalists in Uyo on preparations for the event, Barrister Akanem said Rotarians who have registered to attend the event will arrive Uyo on Friday, 28th July. He said that as part of welcome activities on Friday, a praise and worship service is built to hold at Destiny International Mission at West Housing Estate, Uyo, between 5 and 7 p.m. and a hospitality night from 8 to 11 p.m. at MGM Hotels and Suites, Dominic Utuk Avenue, Uyo. According to him, the installation of the Akanema as the 7th governor of the district will be chaired by the immediate past governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike. He said that Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umoino, former governor of the state Udom Emmanuel, Nigeria's former Attorney General and Minister of Justice Mohammed Adoke, the 2023 governorship candidate of the YPP, Senator Basi Albert, among other personalities, have been invited as special guests for the event. To add color to the event and promote the rich cultural attires of Akwa Ibom State, the chairman noted that Rotarians who have registered to attend the installation are to dress in native attires depicting the different ethnic groups in the state. According to the planning committee, awards will be presented to some persons who have distinguished themselves in community services. It further listed the awardees to include Senator of the Federal Republic, Senator Ian Naya Baribe, Chairman of Taft Media Group, Tony Afia, Chairman Dudu Foundation, Edu Ofong, National President, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Ishiguzo Chris, and Chairman, Ugwumba Leadership Academy, Uche Nwosu. Now to Africa, where soldiers have allegedly gone on national TV in Niger and announced that they have carried out a coup. They reportedly said they had dissolved the constitution, suspended all institutions, and closed the West African country's borders. Reports say Niger President Mohamed Bazoum has been held by troops from the Presidential Guard since early Wednesday. Meanwhile, the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken conveyed Washington's unwavering support in a call to Bazoum. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres also said he had spoken to the president and offered the UN's full support for him. Still in Africa, Russian President Vladimir Putin yesterday held talks with Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed ahead of the Russia-Africa summit. Putin has billed the two-day summit that opens in St. Petersburg as a major event that would help bolster ties with a continent of 1.3 billion people that is increasingly assertive on the global stage. Reports say it is the second Russia-Africa summit since 2019, and some African leaders have arrived in Russia. for the summit. On the foreign scene now, as North Korea marks the 70th year of Victory Day, the Russian Minister Sergei Shoigu and a Chinese delegation led by a Communist Party Politburo member have arrived in North Korea for the celebration of the end of the Korean War. Reports say Russia's defense minister accompanied North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to a defense exhibition that featured the North's banned ballistic missiles as the neighbors pledged to boost ties today. Recall that the nuclear-capable missiles were banned under UN Security Council resolutions adopted with Russian and Chinese support. Meanwhile, Russia, China are the first prominent visitors North Korea has had since COVID pandemic, and North Korea has backed Russia's battle for justice. Still on the foreign scene, Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that Russia and African countries will deepen their cooperation, particularly in the sphere of education. Putin made this known during a plenary session at the Economic and Humanitarian Forum in St. Petersburg. According to him, Russia's leading universities will be opening branches on the African continent, noting that more than 10,000 medical students are currently studying in Russia. He added that training centers for primary school teachers will also be opened in 28 countries on the continent. Still to come in the news. O'Halley named player of the match in Falcons vs Australia win. To stay with us. Many thanks for staying tuned. On our business news, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) has said it discovered 162 illegal pipeline connections and illegal refineries in the Niger Delta, mostly in Bayelsa, in the past week. In a documentary by the oil company shared via its social media handle, NNPCL said 93 illegal pipeline connections and 69 illegal refineries were discovered from Abua and Bokoda between July 15 and 21 and had been destroyed. He noted this as part of its fight against crude oil theft in the country. Still in business, the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association has warned that the continuous rising of inflation, if not controlled, can hit 25% before the end of the year 2023. In a statement, to raise the monetary policy rate by 25 basis points to 18.75% could be chaotic to the growth trajectory of the nation. Is that tightening monetary policy stance by raising the anchor rate had proven ineffective. Yerinde urged the CBN to focus more on tackling the structural drivers of inflation, especially the supply side. The NECA DG further urged the CBN to work with relevant government agencies in addressing supply-driven inflationary factors rather than supporting future hike in the MPR. Now in health, the Niger State House of Assembly has urged the government to set up a committee to investigate the remote causes of the anthrax disease outbreak in the Suleja local government area of the state. This followed a motion of matters of urgent public importance brought before the House by the member representing Suleja constituency, Mortal Badaru, at the plenary in Mina. The Speaker of the House, Abdul Malik, Sakin Daji said it has been resolved that the committee should consist of multidisciplinary experts to collaborate with the National Center for Disease Control and other relevant agencies to provide solutions to prevent the spread of the disease. He directed the Ministries of Livestock and Transport to collaborate with the police and other security agencies to intensify surveillance on farms, markets, abattoirs, and the movement of livestock within the state. Still in health, the Bauchi State Primary Healthcare Development Agency has confirmed 2 diphtheria deaths in 6 local government areas of the state. The executive chairman of the agency, Dr. Rilwanu Mohammed, confirmed the outbreak during a news conference held in Bauchi. He said the agency collected 58 samples of suspected cases of the disease from January 2023 to date. According to Mohammed, the agency will scale up the immunization of pupils in schools across the affected communities. Now in sports, Osinachi Ohale has been named player of the match as Nigeria's Super Falcons shocked hosts Australia 3-2 in their second Group B game at the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup. Reports say Ohale was massive in defense for the Falcons as they recorded their first win of the tournament. She marked her 5-star performance with a goal for the 5-time African champions. With the Australians failing to clear their lines properly off a corner, Ohale headed in from close range to put the Falcons 2-1 ahead in the second half. Meanwhile, the win has taken the Falcons top of Group B, and they will face already eliminated Republic of Ireland on Monday. Still in sports, the Super Falcons came from a goal down to beat Australia 3-2 in a Group B game at the 2023 Women's World Cup today. Now on the entertainment news, Nigerian singer and songwriter Timi Dakolo is ready to give his fans a live experience. With the chorus leader live, All the Things I Didn't Say, at Terra Culture Lagos on August 20 this year, 16 years after the release of his songs. Reports say this is Timi Dakolo's first live concert and that the maiden edition concert will be filled with storytelling, humor, and will pay homage to the muses that fueled the evolution of Timi Dakolo becoming the chorus leader. Meanwhile, the famous chorus leader is set to thrill his fans, whom he calls Yard People, on his unique sounds as well as the stories that made him. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You've been watching Spectrum News at 4. My name is Xavier Robert. Do enjoy the rest of our programming. Bye-bye.